I'm here at Rectory Wood in the Shropshire Hills, a place called Church Stretton, and found something interesting. This is Rectory Wood, the historic garden. In 1749, Professor John Mainwaring, a theologian and fellow of St John's College, Cambridge, became rector of the parish Church of Stretton. Among the society visitors to Mainwaring's house, the old rectory, was his friend Lancelot Capability Brown. Mainwaring designed and laid out a landscape garden in the grounds of the rectory, and Brown is believed to have advised on these improvements. And there you can see the plan from 1767. Allegedly. Okay, so they've got an ice house here. The pool here, these are all yew trees. This they're calling a Gothic folly that was converted into a pump house. This is that thing there. The ice house is just up here behind the tree, but you know, it's not an ice house. Okay, a lot of probablys in this. The ice house on the hillside above the pool probably also dates to the 18th century. Excavations in 2009 show that although its roof had collapsed, most of the ice house remains buried in the hillside. Buried in the hillside. An ice house is a building for storing ice. So much ice around. God, where are we going to store it? The ice was packed into a compartment space, and the ice house walls and roof were insulated to slow the melting process. The ice was used for preparing food and cooling drinks, perishable food, meat, poultry, game, fish, butter, etc. would also be stored in the ice house. Most large country houses in the 18th and 19th centuries would have had one or more ice houses on their estate. There's a cross section of it. Bullshit. Okay. The pool, the yew-ringed pool with its dam and cascade and Gothic folly, later converted into a pump house. Some of the earliest features of John Mainwaring's garden. The yew trees around the pool and the majestic trees overlooking the stream may have been planted at this time. Oh no, we're just making shit up. Hiya! Okay. The summer house, Mainwaring probably also built the summer house at the west end of the stream, sited to give a view down the valley towards the Yew-ring pool and Gothic folly. At that time, this stretch of brook was set in open ground with just a few clumps of planting. The remains of the summer house were also excavated in 2009. The excavations revealed the floor and walls of the D-shaped building. The walls were built of local stone and brick. The side looking over the stream and pool was open, and 6 square section stone pillar bases would have supported the roof. 6 square section stone pillar bases, okay, would have supported the roof. Alright. The summer house had a pebble floor and cobble floor. The letter M for Mainwaring, yeah right, was picked out in white pebbles on the floor. Okay. So they've got it right. So these yew trees, some of them look like they've been severely tilted by something at some point. Okay. So this is the alleged Gothic folly that was later converted into a pump house. When it was converted, they don't know that. You know, it's something else buried underneath here in the mud. Yeah, just a random Gothic folly. Sound. Okay. Oh, what's this? Like battery terminals or something. Okay, makes sense. Super thick walls. Yeah, so, well that's, you know, this isn't weird at all, is it? It's not weird at all. Okay, so that's that. Get the tilt on that yew tree. Okay, when it was planted, it would have been planted so it would be growing upright. All this, as you know, clearly it's come up or something, and it's pushed it over. You know, no mention of anything like that happening on the probably board. And we'll just cross over here and I'll just quickly show you the remains of this supposed ice house. Absolute bullshit. So yeah, they're just keeping the ice house in this garden, you know, because there's so much ice. You gotta have somewhere to store all your ice. You know, there's so much ice. We need to build 2 in every 18th and 19th century house. Stop it from melting. Because there's so much ice. Can't let it melt. You know, if ice was that abundant, why would you care if it melted? You know. Anyway, bullshit. Found a lovely nice big tree that you don't see every day, and this old wall, blocked up doorway. Anyway, here's the tree. It's like a proper story tree. Massive, and then these ruins next to it of a bygone era, and then they used all these ruins to just make a wall. Some steps here, but yeah, nothing mentioned about any of it. Old world buildings all over Church Stretton. St Lawrence Church in Church Stretton. Check out those bad boys on top. Let's check out the bullshit board. I'm recording this with a tablet, that's why everyone's looking at me like this. So, it's a nice one. Next door you got all those blocked up windows and doors. It's another nice one. So there you've got a typical solicitor's building, you know, with the windows on the ground and a giant door and nothing on the placards. And again, wow, look at this. Nice. Nice. This stone was removed from the wall of the old malt house, which was pulled down in 1865. Something part of the hotel was added. Look at that detail on the brick. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh yeah, and just a TSB bank. In a Greco Romano style. Because, you know, why not?